Joel Embiid, he's set to make his season debut after missing the first 9 games due to left knee management, and then the tail end of that, of course, the 3-game suspension for shoving a columnist. Embiid averaged a career-high 34.7 points per game last season. So, Shams, what is the 76ers plan for the former MVP tonight?
So, physically, he's going to be wearing a brace tonight, and they feel like he's in a good place health-wise with his knee. But these games are going to be big for him. Tonight, he needs to get in basketball shape. He needs to get in the proper conditioning for this regular season. And so that's what everyone with Philadelphia will keep their eye on. Not sure on the exact minutes limit. We'll see what that's going to look like. I'm sure they're going to have to monitor it. But do I expect Joel Embiid to come out tonight and play 35 to 40 minutes? I would not hold my breath on that. But I do think they want him to get in shape. And I spoke to people around Joel Embiid, spoke to people around the Sixers over the last 24 hours, and they say that Joel Embiid's heard the noise. He knows what the narrative is on this team, on this season with him. And he wants to get on the court, and he knows they need to get that big 3 on the court. There's a little bit of urgency right now in Philadelphia to get these 3 guys healthy on the floor and build some chemistry.
Urgency is a good word for it. I'm watching how does he move? How does he look? And given that this is the first night of a back-to-back for the Philadelphia 76ers, I'm glad he's playing tonight. But is that plan going to hold up? I assume it will for him not to play tomorrow. So this is really our glimpse perk. Philadelphia is 2-7, but the East, they only have 2 teams that are above 500 at all. So what do you think Embiid needs to do to turn the Sixers season around here?
You better show up and show out. That's what the Philadelphia 76ers fans are going to be looking at. What type of player Joel Embiid is going to be. Okay, you've been out, you didn't play in the preseason, you've been relaxing in training camp, getting healthy. You got to come out in great fashion. Paul George has been horrible, right, since he's put on the Sixer uniform and been playing. Joel Embiid have to come out and deliver. There's no room for error. Look, this team is under so much pressure because you cannot afford to waste Joel Embiid prime. His prime is not like no other in the NBA when we talk about other superstars around the league. His prime is a little bit shortened, so with that being said, he got to come out in great fashion.
Yeah, I agree with Perk. The fact that he's playing against the Knicks and Cat, I know he's going to push the issue. He's on minute restriction. He may push that to 25, 30 minutes. But it's going to be a fun game tonight. They do, luckily for them, everybody else is below 500 or even, so they have some time to catch up. But there's a sense of urgency here for them to catch up.
You mentioned career high 37.4 points. I actually take note of his assists. I think, the way you quiet the noise is by winning, but also by getting your teammates involved. Last year, career high 5.6 assists. He will need that again this year, especially without Maxey.
But how does he make it easier for Paul George? You touched on it. Paul George is shooting 16% on threes this season, 39% from the
Can only go up from here.
Exactly. So can he make the offensive load a little bit easier with a force like Joel Embiid back on the floor, at least for tonight? Finally, let's go out to Oklahoma City. The MVP favorite, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, put up a career high last night, 45 points. Danny, is this the year he's going to get a 50-piece?
Yes, for sure, 100%. He's figuring it out. He's knowing how to get his body involved, get to the free throw line more. Just a continuation from last season. To me, I'm shocked that he hasn't had 50 already, but he will get it this year. He continues to grow and progress in this direction. Should have been MVP last year. He was my pick last year. This year, I think he'll get it.
Oh, well, he was up there in the voting. We'll see where he ends up this year. He is the favorite. OKC, though, playing without Chet Holmgren last night. He's out at least 2 months with that hip fracture. But check out the starting lineup they used. Their tallest starter was their point guard, SGA, at 6'6". Every other player between 6'3" and 6'6". And Jalen Williams was at center at 6'5". Williams was asked about playing the 5. Here's what he said.
You started at center tonight. Talk about the adaptability of this team and the way that you guys just go to different circumstances seamlessly.
Life is definitely coming from you and not at you, so I think that's how we do. We can't hold our losses too close to our heart as a team, so just kind of keeping our bigs in mind and trying to play hard for them.
Life is coming from you, not at you. Okay.
It's being workshopped.
Yeah, we're workshopping it. I like it, and I love the group interviews that they do after all these games. But Shams, you reported that Holmgren, he is going to be sidelined for a couple of months here as he deals with that hip injury. Are they looking at making any adjustments, adding to this roster at all?
Malika, the Thunder have an open roster spot, so technically, yeah, they could add a big man, and I think they will explore potentially adding someone, but it's not going to be anyone that's going to make a major difference this season. From everything you look at the Thunder over the last 3-4 years, they've leaned into small ball. They've been all about playing smaller, versatile lineups with all these defenders on the court. They went all in on that this summer, too, getting Alex Caruso. So I think they're going to lean more and more into playing this small ball lineup. We saw Jalen Williams, J-Dub, was guarding Ivica Zubac last night, and it's important to know they do have 3 amazing centers, I think, on this team. You think about Isaiah Hartenstein, Chet Holmgren. They love Jalen Williams down there, too, the other Jalen. And I think in the meantime, you lean into small ball and just wait for those guys to get back in the lineup. But they're a team that's always going to be very interested in seeing what else is out there, but they're going to lean into what they have internally, which is a lot of small ball.
And Hartenstein's still a couple of weeks away, right?
Yeah, he's still got a couple weeks left on his reevaluation.
Okay, so while they're making all of these reevaluations, Shanae, it seems like these are some guys who play above their size in a way. Can Oklahoma City make this work without their bigs available?
They can on both ends. Offensively, the way small ball works, it helps when you have SGA dropping 45.